high-risk offender from Kitchener remains behind bars tonight after facing a judge yet again and telling that judge to just sentence him. Good evening. Kevin Koehler is promising to leave the province, and he urged a judge today to just sentence him for violating a court order. The 61-year-old, who had served a manslaughter sentence in the death of his roommate, was arrested again in April. As CTV's Krista Simpson tells us, the judge's message to Koehler today was, "Get a lawyer."
"I just want to get sentenced," Kevin Koehler told court Friday. The high-risk offender was arrested in April after it's alleged he broke 2 of the terms of a judicial order imposed on him in October after he completed a 12-year prison sentence for manslaughter in the death of his roommate, Marianne May. It's the second time he's been charged with not following court orders. In this case, Koehler is accused of possessing or consuming alcohol and failing to report an intimate relationship. He doesn't dispute consuming alcohol. "I'm an alcoholic, so I'm going to drink every day," he told Justice Pamela Borgeson. But he said the relationship he didn't report only involved cuddling. Koehler also telling the judge he doesn't believe he should be subject to conditions after serving his time in prison. During the brief appearance, the judge raised concerns about Koehler's plan to plead guilty without a lawyer, saying any judge can only accept a guilty plea if they believe it is voluntary and that the accused actually believes they are guilty. Koehler said he would plead guilty and get his spanking. "There will be no spanking," Borgeson said. "I was just joking," Koehler replied. Koehler is scheduled to be back in court on July 20th. The judge urged him to return with a lawyer. "It can't hurt," Borgeson said. Koehler said he probably wouldn't, but might speak with duty counsel that day. "Hopefully you won't be too harsh on me. I've already done 12 years. Come on," he told Borgeson, adding, "I'll be in for life if you keep putting me in for drinking." Koehler reiterated he just wants to get his spanking, do his time, and escape the province, saying, "Hasta la vista, BC I go. You won't be seeing me again ever in Ontario, never." Krista Simpson, CTV News, Kitchener.
A funeral for the 5 children who died in a crash in Mapleton Township will be held this weekend. The 2-vehicle crash last weekend has had the community sharing messages of support and condolences for the grieving family, along with all of those affected by the crash. The family is thanking the community for its support during this difficult time, and we do have more coverage of the ongoing investigation and the latest messages the family has been sharing. You'll find that from our digital team over at our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. The search is still underway tonight for a man wanted in the killing of his parents at their home in Port Credit. The couple was attacked last night. CTV's John Musselman has the latest.
According to witnesses and footage from local security cameras, the accused man, identified by police as 46-year-old Jordan Sanguin, pulled up to his parents' home in a pickup truck last night just after 7 p.m. and allegedly attacked his father on the front porch. He then allegedly attacked his mother inside the home. The victims, aged 70 and 71, did not survive. Peel Regional Police say their son fled the scene. He is now wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for 2 counts of first-degree murder.
He is considered armed and dangerous. If anyone in the public happens to locate him, please contact 911.
Investigators would not confirm the cause of death, but they say a firearm was not used. We don't know what the attacker was holding. The double killing and the ongoing search for the accused has nearby residents on edge.
I heard it last night. I was around here last night and I was here after everything, but I think it's, as he said, it's a bit scary because the person is still out, so I think that's a little scary.
It's cautionary for everybody in the neighborhood here. You know, now until he's caught, people are going to be walking around looking over their shoulder, not trusting anybody, because even though the picture's out.
Sanguin is described as 5'10" with a slim build. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt, checkered shorts, and a baseball cap. Police released more photos this afternoon. This local business owner on Lakeshore Road near the crime scene says the accused man is a regular customer.
He's a very nice guy. I never heard word like that. He's a hard worker. He's a construction guy.
Peel police say the motive remains under investigation. Neighbors say the family has lived in the home for decades. At this point, police say they do not believe there's an immediate threat to the public. The home remains sealed off as police continue this investigation. If you spot the accused man, you're asked to call 911 right away. John Musselman, CTV News in Port Credit.
2 confirmed human cases of Lyme disease are being reported by Waterloo Region Public Health. Officials say in addition to those 2 confirmed cases, there's also 1 probable case of the potentially serious disease, which comes from being bitten by an infected black-legged tick. Public Health also says it found Lyme disease in 2 ticks that were gathered in the region during a regular monitoring program called tick dragging. The information comes on the same day that Ontario's Ministry of Health reminds people to take precautions to protect against tick bites. Now, the ministry notes that infected ticks can be found almost anywhere in the province. They advise tips that include wearing light-colored clothing so it's easier to spot them, using insect repellent with DEET, checking yourself along with children and pets after being outdoors, staying on marked trails, and avoiding areas where ticks are usually found, like tall grass, brush, leaf litter, and trail edges. Now, the ministry says there have been more than 10,000 cases of Lyme disease in Ontario since 2021. Well, the end of June usually means graduation ceremonies, but for grade 8 students at one school in Cambridge, there won't be any stage, gowns, or caps. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has more on the school's plans to do things differently and why it's upset some parents.
My son had picked out a photo that he was going to use, and I was hoping to get the same kind of picture with him to put side by side.
Christina Fryer's son is supposed to graduate from this Cambridge elementary school next week. But unlike his older sister, he won't be getting a formal grade 8 graduation ceremony.
It's a milestone, and we're missing out.
No stage, no cap and gown, and no families.
The school had told me that they decided not to do that this year.
It's awful. It's sad. I mean, I definitely cried when I found out, it's something that I'm going to miss out on.
The Waterloo Regional District School Board says grade 8 celebrations here at Muffet Creek Public School have not been cancelled, and an event celebrating students' achievements will be held off school property. After thoughtful consideration, Muffet Creek Public School decided to hold a student-only celebration during the school day, a decision that was communicated to students, parents, families, and caregivers earlier this year. The board's Associate Director of Education Services told CTV News, this approach was designed to create an engaging experience that centers students and their accomplishments as they mark this important milestone. The board also says school staff reviewed their community's needs and used student voices to guide the planning.
It should have been something that the grade 8 parents were contacted about and spoken to about before the decision had been made.
Both Fryer and grade 8 parent Amanda Williams say the news was disappointing, but they believe the lack of communication from the school made it worse. Details were shared on an online portal that they say can be tricky to access.
For them to make such a big decision on an internet base is mind-blowing because not everyone has that internet accessibility.
And the only thing that we get to do, is show up for them when they graduate, and now that's been taken, and it's a really not nice feeling.
The school says families are invited to take part in a clap-out at the end of the day. But for some parents, that's not enough.
I'm not quite sure what they're expecting a clap-out's going to do. It's not the same thing as watching him cross a stage to get a diploma or even be in a cap and gown.
The parents I spoke with say there isn't enough time to scramble together a ceremony of their own, so they plan to have smaller celebrations with close friends and family. But they hope this problem doesn't persist and that there's better communication between the school and the community moving forward. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News.
A new report says Ontario needs more than 1 million university grads over the next decade if it wants to keep up with labor market demands. The report was conducted by Stokes Economics on behalf of the Council of Ontario Universities. The biggest need is in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM-related jobs, which will need an average of 21,300 grads per year. Health sciences is second in demand, followed by business, finance, and administration careers. A new poll suggests the Ontario Liberals are building momentum. It comes after the Premier got into a battle with another polling firm earlier this week. More from our Queen's Park correspondent Siobhan Morris.
He's the face of the Ontario government and the Progressive Conservative Party. But public opinion polling reveals more trouble for Doug Ford's personal brand.
We're really seeing that number take a bit of a beating.
In a survey of 1,000 Ontarians last week, Liaison Strategies found support for the Premier at just 26%. 69% disapprove of the job he's doing, and 66% of those asked believe Ontario is headed in the wrong direction.
I think to a certain extent it's death by 1,000 cuts. The government's been in place for so long, it's accumulated a lot of baggage.
The government's purchase and return of a $30 million jet is still circling in the minds of Ontarians, something captured by pollster Angus Reid earlier this week. It puts support for Ford at just 21%, the lowest point since he became Premier.
I love this Angus Reid. They put this fake poll out,
accusing the nonprofit firm of sampling from opposition caucuses and ridings.
The truth of the matter is we'd form a massive majority if the election was held today. For the fourth time.
Good to see you. The president of Angus Reid says she stands by their record of independent, nonpartisan research and has sent a legal letter to the Premier telling CTV News, "We do not intend to litigate this issue in the media, but we do believe the public record should be corrected." The Premier's office has not responded to our request for a response.
His comments are delusional.
It sounds a lot like Donald Trump.
The interim Liberal leader doesn't think this week's numbers are a surprise to Ontarians.
The things that they count on, like their hospitals, their schools, their health care, having a family doctor, life being affordable, it's just not there.
The head of the NDP says the Premier should learn a lesson from these polls, to listen to regular people instead of friends.
It's the people who he's building the giant parking garages for. It's the people that he's trying to please by, allowing jets to land at the island airport.
The brands of all the major parties will be tested with 2 provincial by-elections in the coming months. In Scarborough Southwest, that's typically an NDP riding, and in York Simcoe, where PCs have dominated. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Just ahead, a terrifying ordeal in his own words.
I honestly thought I was gonna die, because I felt my arm was about to rip, out of my body. It was horrible.
We're going to hear from the 11-year-old boy in Barrie who was attacked and dragged by a dog on the loose. Satellite and radar shows a pretty nice evening across most of southern Ontario. Some rain moving across parts of cottage country and eastern Ontario tonight. Let's check current temps on this Friday evening. A bit of a chill in the air certainly compared to what we saw last week, but not too bad overall. Temperatures in the teens for most of the southern part of the province. Here's a live look from our tower camera tonight, Midtown KW, looking toward downtown Kitchener. We've got a 15-degree temperature right now outside of our studios in Kitchener's Deer Ridge area. Back with more news in 2 minutes. An 11-year-old Barrie boy who was mauled by a dog on the loose while he was on his way to school last week is sharing his story. The dog was shot and killed by police days after the attack. CTV's Rob Cooper hears from the boy and the man who rushed over to help him.
It is already. The countless scars and wounds suffered by 11-year-old Arthur Camilletti of Barrie tells a terrifying tale.
He got me on my head at the back, and he got me over here on my leg, and also on my left arm and left hand.
Arthur was riding his scooter to school last week when he says he was attacked by a pit bull-looking dog along Essa Road by Loggers Run.
I honestly thought I was gonna die, because I felt my arm was about to rip, out of my body. It was horrible. Then the dog got my arm and my leg, so then I was on the ground getting dragged.
Sean Hillen witnessed the attack and ran over to help.
Started hitting it, and I guess I had hit it pretty hard in the head with my snow brush, where my snow brush broke. And then that's when the dog kind of backed up a bit, and my first instinct was just to grab the boy.
Arthur suffered severe injuries and required a 3-hour surgery, hundreds of stitches, and stayed in hospital for 4 days. The dog escaped and wasn't spotted by police until days later when it was ultimately shot. His parents say the local health unit has informed them the dog, shot by police, did not have rabies. Arthur has had to get 3 rabies shots as a precaution before the results came in. City of Barrie bylaw tells CTV News enforcement services continue to work with Barrie Police on the investigation, and we are aware of a suspected owner of the dog that we are attempting to locate.
I think about the attack, it's like it hurts a little, but then I realize like I'm okay now and nothing's gonna be happening.
Now Arthur tells me he is so thankful for the heroic efforts of Sean Hillen that day. He also tells me he's doing better by the day and thanks everyone for their well wishes. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
Billionaire businessman Frank Stronach has been found guilty of sexual assault. CTV's John Woodward has been following the trial and has details.
Canadian billionaire Frank Stronach left Toronto Superior Court Friday as a convicted criminal. The 93-year-old founder of an auto parts empire that turned him into one of Canada's richest men was found guilty of sexual assault for groping a waitress at a restaurant he used to own in the early 80s, and one count of indecent assault for pushing his groin into another woman in his apartment in 1977.
Well, I know that these historic sexual assault charges are incredibly difficult to prosecute. So it's a great relief that 2 of the charges survived the attacks on the integrity and the memories of the 7 complainants.
Stronach could face 12 counts, some where he was accused of using his money, power, and leadership position at Magna International to find women for sex, including this woman, one of the horse trainers on his expansive property north of Toronto.
He wasn't my employer anymore. He was my abductor. He was my rapist.
But as the trial went on, the charges were whittled down. The justice didn't find the woman who made the rape allegation credible, saying there were too many uncertainties about the incident alleged by the woman for me to be satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt as to Mr. Stronach's guilt of the violent rape she described.
Take the time to read her honor's decision very carefully.
His lawyer urging reporters to consider the difference between what was alleged and what Stronach was convicted of.
And we'll take the time, digest the decision, and ask for what we think is the most appropriate sentence in the circumstance of offenses that happened in 1977 and an offense that happened in 1983.
The conviction amounts to a remarkable fall from grace for one of Canada's richest men and will trigger a review of his Order of Canada. And Stronach isn't done at court. He will also face a sentencing hearing, at least 1 civil suit, and another set of similar charges to be heard at a separate trial. John Woodward, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, later on CTV News, a summertime surge in food bank demand, and at the same time, a slowdown in donations. CTV's Colton Weens finds out how one food bank is trying to overcome a seasonal obstacle, one thing they're looking for in particular, and how a local tech company is also trying to help.
First official day of summer is Sunday, so what will the forecast bring? We'll find out coming up after the break.
A little time lapse from the CTV tower camera looking toward the western Waterloo skyline as the sun was setting earlier tonight. We've had just about as nice of an evening as we've had all week is what I was getting at, because, you know, all of those dicey conditions we were navigating all week. It was raining on and off. It was a little stormy. Finally today things calmed down a little bit, including the wind, and we got to enjoy a beautiful Waterloo Region sunset tonight. Thank you, Alan Fraser, for that time lapse. And here's Leanne now with our forecast.
Conditions are stabilizing to end off the week after that messy low-pressure system that moved quite rapidly across the Great Lakes tonight into the overnight. We're likely just going to see a few clouds here in Waterloo Region. By the time we reach Saturday morning, we are watching a little bit of a system that's going to track from the extreme southwest, likely hitting the Windsor, Chatham, Kent, London area early Saturday morning. Here in Waterloo Region, we'll see increasing cloud cover through the morning hours before the chance of that passing shower as that system breaks apart and treks across southwestern Ontario by Saturday afternoon. Not a complete washout, still a little bit of sunshine hopefully, and a chance to get outside throughout the morning hours and evening hours too. Sunday looking like the best day of the week, and that is great because that's when we are welcoming the first official day of summer. And we are looking at about just 1 to 2 millimeters of rain overall when you total that system that's going to track through on Saturday afternoon. Today in Waterloo Region, we've reached a daytime daytime high of 21 degrees. A little bit cooler than normal. We're used to seeing 24. We did see fairly gusty winds, though, so that drove temperatures down a bit, and will continue to do so as we get into the overnight hours. Looking at a brisk 9 degrees for our overnight low. Cloudy conditions, and then temperatures rising again tomorrow, back up to 21 degrees, the forecast high. Increasing cloud cover through the morning, and that chance of a passing shower through the afternoon hours. However, by Sunday, things are looking up. Plenty of sunshine, 23 degrees, and it looks like a perfect day to get outside, maybe barbecue. Of course, we have Father's Day on Sunday. Perfect day for it before the next round of active weather moves in on Monday. Looking at another low pressure system that's set to bring some rainfall. 20 degrees the daytime high, though, so temperatures still staying just slightly below seasonal. That risk for precipitation continues as we get into the middle of the week next week. In the Lambton, Kent and Essex area, risk of a thunderstorm throughout the early morning hours tomorrow, with that system approaching your area first. 25 degrees, though, the daytime high. There will still be chances to get outside. And of course, Sunday, beautiful conditions, beautiful temperatures, 25 degrees, mix of sun and cloud before that rainfall moves in, likely hitting your area first Monday morning, and 22 degrees will be the daytime high to start off the work week. Southern Georgian Bay looks like this. Temperatures on a little bit of the cooler side of things. However, high teens, still nice. Mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, and plenty of sunshine on Sunday. Hopefully everyone can get out, celebrate the dad in their life, and enjoy the first day of summer.
All right, Leanne, thank you so much. Right now, pretty comfortable, I have to say, outside our studios, 15 degrees. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll give you a live look right now from our tower camera at Midtown tonight. Finally for us, the Guelph Food Bank's putting out a call for donations as it heads into one of its highest need times of year. It's especially in need of pasta sauce right now to go with a large delivery of pasta. And as CTV's Colton Weens tells us, a Cambridge-based app developer is hoping his idea can help.
While some of the shelves at the Guelph Food Bank are full, others are bare at this time of year. A major drop-off from the Mississauga and Waterloo region food banks has lined their shelves with pasta, but they don't really have any sauce to go with it.
It just doesn't complete a meal, so if they don't have the means in their budget to be able to purchase, then they're finding ways to use it, or they hold on to it until they can have access to sauce.
The food bank says it's also in urgent need of many other non-perishable items right now, including peanut butter, canned tuna, and canned beans, saying this time of year is especially challenging.
This is our highest needs time. It will increase over the summer, and yet our donations go down. So it's not the right direction for balancing out people to the amount of food that we get donated.
McLeod McCarthy says in April, around 4,400 people used their services, while in their peak month last July, it was almost 5,300, and assumes those numbers will be similar this summer as kids are at home and not using food programs at school. Typically, they receive the most donations around December, and that lasts until the end of April, but now it barely makes it to March.
The public is amazing, but they're also strapped for cash as well.
And to help with donations, the food bank is now running a pilot project with Cambridge-based Heart to Cart, which allows you to use an app online in order to donate food.
Would help us work with a new demographic of people who like to interact with their apps.
The food bank still accepts traditional drop-offs and cash, but is hoping this new web app encourages more donations.
It's just a lot more lively, a lot more engaging, and it's a more fun way to give.
Founder Paulo Di Donato says instead of just donating money, users choose certain items to buy, similar to online grocery shopping. The food bank controls what's available on the app based on what they need.
At the end of the day, the food is purchased by the food bank. Okay. So the funds get transferred to the food bank. The food bank then uses their purchasing power to buy more versus us going to the grocery store and having less purchasing power.
Di Donato hopes the app can grow over time, while the food bank hopes it encourages more to donate in a difficult time. Colton Weens, CTV News, Guelph.
All right, that's going to do it for us on this Friday, June 19th. Thank you for checking in with us. I'm going to be away on some vacation time. I will see you back here in July. Until then, Leanne Evans and Alexandra Hollick and Krista Simpson will be filling in at this desk. So have a great couple of weeks. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.